the computer. Last time it was perfect. Good morning. My name is Lisa Schmidt, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to Saturday in the studio. I'm like, what's today? Saturday in the studio. We're in Minnesota. We're in Little Falls this morning. I'm looking out the window, and it looks sunny from here. However, this morning when we woke up, it was, I'm just going to lower myself a little bit here. It was negative 14 degrees, which is just craziness. Some of our guests actually went out to go to the store. I was like, I don't know if I'd be going out to the store. Anyway, this morning I want to show you something using our trusty tools, which is the kind of tend to think of it like the dad set or the man set. But I'm going to show you another card this morning that is not really just for men. And I think this will persuade you or just show you another way to use the trusty tools. And just to point this out, so the trusty tools is in our new mini catalog, which goes from now until is January 2nd, I believe. So it goes, what am I talking about?
April.
Now until April. Wow, that was like a flashback. Where was I? Anyway, now until April. But it's during celebration right now. So what that means is for every $50 you purchase, you get to choose a free item. And the designer series paper that matches this is one of those free items, which I'm like, that is a win, 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 win. So, all right, I'm excited to show you this. I'm going to go ahead and we are using Poppy Parade as one of our colors. Good morning, Diane. Poppy Parade is my main color, my main base. And let's go ahead and just boom, 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 do that. And then I am going to use the bee paper. You recognize this, my little bee paper. It's a very little piece of bee paper, which is also in the current catalog. And I realized one thing I did not do is I'm sure this is going to run out in any second, and then I'll have to replace it. But that's okay. That just means I get to chat with you while I'm replacing it. And I'm not going to put it on there. So let me pull out all my pieces. Just take a breath and pull them out. So I've got Poppy Parade, I've got Petal Pink, and I've got Basic White. So this is our standard sheet. So this is 5.5. Then I go in a 1/4 inch on all sides. So now I'm at 5.25 by 4. And then I'm going to go in another 1/4 inch, and this is the piece I'm going to stamp on just to give it a little bit of that extra color there. And this one is 5 by 3 3/4. There we go. 5 by 3 3/4. So that's my dimensions here. And I don't like that this keeps popping up. I really want it to stay closed. There we go. A little bit better there. Okay. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and stick on our Petal Pink. I'm so glad. I'm sorry if you love Blushing Bride, but I'm really glad they got rid of Blushing Bride because Blushing Bride and Petal Pink to me were just so close. And this one I think I liked better. So there we go. They didn't consult me, by the way, but okay, now I'm back to my little piece of paper. So this is a cardstock, white cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and put I'm going to go ahead and stick this paper right up to the edge. And I like to line it up I like to line it up so I can see it. I like to line it up on the top. And then if the bottom goes over the paper, that's okay. This one happens to be just fine. Okay, this is the piece we're going to stamp on. But let me get my little trusty tool ready first. So I wanted to show you this again because I just love all the little tools in here. How fun are they? I have a little toolkit at school that I keep for, lots of things that all of a sudden I need. People are like, wow, you have a toolkit? I'm like, it yet because they're all stuck on here still. But look at all these fun tools. So many different. I haven't played with it yet, but I'm excited to. And then I love that this is a different die to go on top of the hammer because this die you cut out of silver and it would look like the hammer, right? So excited to play with that. I will share all of that with you another time. And I will pull out this one because I want to, even though we're not going to use this one, I want to show you that one. So I'll just grab that. All right, so let's stick that aside there. And go ahead and I'm going to stamp on here. So, or I'm going to cut my little, sorry, I'm going to make my little focal point first, and that is going to be the paintbrush. So I'm going to stamp my paintbrush on my little piece of paper here. Or sorry, not on that. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to, it's too cold, affects my brain. All right, I'm going to stamp my paintbrush on a little scrap. Done. So I'm going to stamp my main paintbrush in Memento Black because I just want an outline. That's what that's going to give me. Just a little outline there. And there we go. And then I'm going to stamp, because I can, the handle in a different color. And how fun is that? So of course I'm going to pull this off so I don't get ink somewhere. I'm going to stamp the handle in the petal pink. So we'll go ahead and stamp this little handle. I love that, those kinds of things, these kinds of things I love. You can tell I just re-inked it. I was spreading the ink around, and because the handle last time I made this did not seem dark enough. So this time when I use it, I'm going to actually kind of move all over so I don't have those polka dots although dotted handle, that could be very feminine, very cute. So let's go ahead and stamp this right on top here.
Lean your head back just a little bit.
Okay. It's hard to get it centered when I'm leaning my head back, but that's okay. I understand. I'm going to stamp it one more time. Dave's probably like, that's fine. It's probably fine because it's going to be on white, so I guess it's fine. It's hard to see when my head is back. Anyway, so there's our paintbrush, super cute. And you could always take a marker and just color that in if it bothered you.
It doesn't bother me.
It bothers me, but that's okay. The splash of paint is going to be in Poppy. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Blend in Poppy Parade. I happen to choose the light one, just for no particular reason other than light I can make darker. So my paint is going to be splashed on my brush. Now I know when I paint, there's way more than this on the brush, but this really makes it look quite cute. So I'm just going to do that much. So there's my Poppy Parade. Now we're going to die cut this out of our little die, our little paintbrush die. I'm going to flip this around. I'm using my little mini boss. That's the one I keep here at the Refuge. And Diane, I think we need to get you here. I don't know that you've been here before. We need to get you here. All right, I'm going to just eyeball it because I don't have I like to use a little piece of washi tape or a Post-it note will help hold that straight. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm good. Like that. Dave starts moving. It makes me nervous. Like, what's going on? What's wrong? What are you doing? All right. So there we go. There's our little paintbrush. Is it ever so cute? He's getting me a Poppy note, a Post-it note. Thanks, hon. I'm also going to, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and die cut the brush, the bristles, out of Poppy, just so you can see the that Poppy, how it could look. I know you're going to be like, what? You're taking a whole sheet of paper? Yes, I'll have to get another one. Well, what do you know? I have another one at home. So, because this, I just noticed that this is the paint bristle. So let's take a look and just see, just for fun, what that looks like. I have not played with that one yet, so I haven't seen it. So there we go. All right. So there's our little bristles. We'll set all this aside. And that's how I get it out.
Like we said, today is 14 below here in Little Falls. Go ahead and post in the chat where you're watching from and what the temperature is there, just so we can see those of you who are enjoying warmer weather than we are.
Can you come in a little closer too? The way you actually get those out is you poke right here with those holes. That's what the holes are for. But honestly, I do drop it, and that's what happens. So little tip there for you. I know, free tip. Okay, so we've got our paintbrush. So I just wanted to see, what that would look like. I like the way I did it. I was just curious if you painted the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, you could get that texture there and could be cute that way. I'm going to keep mine the way it is. Just wanted to see it. All right, I'm going to close my petal pink and open Poppy. And my Poppy is going to make a splash of paint. Now, I looked through all my stamps to see what would make a good splash of paint. At first, this is oceanfront. So first I tried this one and I'm like, that looks like a puddle. I don't like it. And then I tried this one. I was like, it works. So that's the one we're going to use.
And which set was that? Can you hold it back on camera?
Oceanfront.
Nice.
Oceanfront. And there's one in the current mini catalog also that would be great for the paintbrush. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's a scene just like this. It's a beautiful scene. So I'm going to move my my stamp like that because I want to stamp it kind of like this. So it's puddling out. Let's bring this back in and my basic white. So I'm going to make a little puddle right here. I mean, I just think this is so cute. I have to say, I copied it from Karen Titus. Hers was going a different direction, up and down, vertical. So I'm going to put some words underneath here. So I want to give a little space there. The paintbrush is going to be about there. Yep, that looks good. So go ahead and I love, of course, the way Stampin' Up! Has made it. So you can actually, it looks like different depths of color.
Any stamp set marked distinctive in the catalog has that shading, sort of that variation of color.
Yeah, thank you. So then we're going to take our little paintbrush. And you notice I did use a piece of paper cardstock that I already had stamped on. But the cardstock, honestly, our white cardstock is so thick that it doesn't matter. Let's grab a dimensional because we're going to pop this up. Why wouldn't we? It's so cute.
We had no idea you were going to pop it up.
And you had no idea I was going to say it's so cute either, did you? Okay, I'm going to give a shout out right now to my dear sweet husband, Dave, and here's why. We're at the Refuge. I sleep in because I like to sleep. He gets up. He makes breakfast for everybody, for 10 people. He gets everything ready. Then he sends me an alarm, time to get up. I'm like, oh my goodness, you are amazing. All right, so isn't that cute? I just think that's really fun. I want you to see it nice and close. How fun is that? And I think what I kind of need here is a little bit more of that paint because the paint sort of has to go off the edge, right? So I'm going to just pop some of that color in there. Or I could trim it, but I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to use, I love, love, love these sentiments. And some is because it's script and bold. If you've been around with me for a while, you know I always love when they combine bold and script, which happens to be like all the time. And I love just the sentiments. This little big hugs is so cute. I know you'll get through this. Here for you always. I mean, those are always helpful. Thank you for your friendship. And you're simply marvelous. Come on. You mean the world to me. I love it. You're marvelous. Simply marvelous. I'm going to actually use this one. I can't thank you enough. And of course, I'm going to stamp it in. Well, maybe not, of course. But I'm going to stamp it in the Memento Black because then I'm going to go ahead and close this. You know what happens when you don't close things. You end up getting your fingers in them. And so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. This is on the rubber. So it's a cling stamp set, which means it is on the rubber. Part of the reason I believe why Stampin' Up! Does that is you could actually color. So if I wanted just thanks, I could take not the Stampin' Right, but the, what are the other markers?
No, the Stampin' Right, not the Stampin'
Blend. Oh, Stampin'
Blend.
Right, not the Stampin' Blend. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Stampin' Right, not the Stampin' Blend. And I could color just that and it would stick to the rubber. So I know sometimes you're like, oh, why did they make a rubber? I like the other ones better. But you know what? This is actually works quite well. So let's go ahead. How far up is that? Y. All right, I'm just going to go for it. It's a little crooked. That's okay. I like it. All right. And so usually I should have done what I was thinking. Usually I stamp on a piece with lines so I can see how's it mounted. And then I know when I stamp it on here, I can adjust it a little bit. But we're all good. I'm going to be okay with it, right?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and
put it down just a little bit.
Sure. Thank you, love. All right. And also, Dave came up early yesterday, shoveled, and did all sorts of things while I meandered my way up, stopping at shops. I love you, hun.
I love you too.
And he's totally in his element. I hear him talking to people, and I'm like, you are just in your element here. Okay, so that is darling. Over here is quite a bit of white space. So I'm just going to add one little thing to make that pop just a tiny bit more. And that's going to be our little heart from, these are our enamel, adhesive backed hearts and flowers. Sorry, they're not enamel. They look enamel, but look how fun they are. Actually, I believe you get,
move down just a little bit.
Sorry again. You get 64 total pieces. So I'm thinking you get one sheet. I don't want to deceive you in thinking you get two. I've ordered a second sheet, so I just keep them together. So, but aren't those so fun? I love all the colors and how fun to make a card with that. Oh, love it. All right, let's grab our take your pick. And I'm actually going to use the new one because I want a bigger heart. I want the big heart up here. And we're just going to pop that up there. It just gives a little bit of something in that space. And I think it's really darling. So what do you think? It's cute, isn't it? It's so
Our friends are
fun.
being very quiet in the chat.
Very
this
quiet.
morning.
Maybe their fingers are frozen. I don't know. Maybe they're just waking up, and that's okay on a Saturday morning. Of course, the other thing we're going to do is put a little piece of cardstock inside. And I was trying to think, what would we put on that? I'm not sure what part of the tools or the stamping or whatever, what would we put in there? And I didn't really come up with anything, so I'll probably just stick it in.
From the reactions, I can see we have Lori with us, Jenny, Mary Jo, Darla, Diane, of course, Sandy. Hey, Sandy. Cheryl has joined us. Cheryl, one of the newest members of the Awesome Inc.
And Mary Jo is in Arizona.
I know.
So I know
Mary
that
Jo
she
has
is
much
not.
nicer weather than
She has
we do
no
right
idea
now.
what we're talking about. This 14 below. Can you come up to me for a moment?
Yes.
Thank you.
To your face.
To my face, yes. Or I can have you just keep looking at the card and I can keep talking to you.
Good.
So we did. Dave did just mention that Cheryl joined our team, which is wonderful. And you might be like, well, what does that mean? Well, Cheryl, I don't know. I won't speak for you, but I will think that number one thing, in my opinion, is you get a discount. You would think that's number one, right? You get a minimum of a 20% discount on your everything you purchase. So you'd think, well, that's the number one. I'm going to say I think friendship is probably the number one. Like the people I've met through Stampin' Up, they're just phenomenal. And I know it sounds cliche, but I would venture to say, Cheryl would say friendship equals the discount. Am I right, Cheryl? Pop it in the chat. Anyway, in addition to what you get when you join this month, you also get the glass plate, which if you haven't seen it, it's amazing.
We need to order one.
Yeah, and they're spendy.
That's all right.
Yeah, I know.
They're so worth it.
They're so worth it. I will show you one on Monday. I'll show you in the catalog because I haven't ordered it yet. But don't you love that when your husband tells you you should order one? I'm like, okay, I will. All right. Did you have something you want to share with us?
I do.
Awesome.
Let
Thanks,
me
love.
go to it. You've heard us mention already a few different times that we are up here at the Refuge Little Falls, which is our craft retreat in Little Falls, Minnesota. I will say one thing. Sorry, I need to switch screens here. One thing is, this winter, we have a lot of friends who are coming. In fact, we now have a lot of people who are coming back for their second and third time, which is great. We're always glad to have friends back and with more friends. And because we've had so many sellout, like pretty much all our winter ones, we have added a second one in February. So our regularly scheduled was filled up. So we added February 16th to the 18th. So if that is a weekend that would work for you, go to thestamperstudio.com, click on hosted retreats, and then you can select the one for next weekend. Or if you want to select April, May, or June, those are also available. I do know that February and March, the regularly scheduled February and the March, are sold out already. So those are some options for you to come up and join us here at the Refuge. The other thing that I will mention is, if we go back here, Card Cafe. We do have the next Card Cafe posted. So again, go to thestamperstudio.com, click on Card Cafe. Card Cafe is our in-person event that happens at our Minnetonka studio. So you get to come, choose 5 designs, make 2 of each of those designs, and walk away with 10 cards and a sore side from laughing so much as a part of your morning. So,
and go ahead. Sorry, you finished. Go ahead.
So always a great time. We have a lot of friends who come every month. We have others who join us from time to time. So definitely join us for Card Cafe. That is coming up. I'm just going to get our date. February the 24th. It's a little later in February due to some other scheduling things. So February 24th is Card Cafe at the Minnetonka studio. So all those fun things coming up.
Nice. Well, and also this card that we made this morning, this is one of the Card Cafe cards, which is why I happen to have this other one with me that I just took a chomp out of. But, this is our Card Cafe card. So if you chose to make this one, you would end up with 2 of them, which is how fun are they? They're so fun, and you end up with 2. Some people say, "Well, I'm gonna keep one and then I can mail one as a sample," and others people say, "Yep, I already know who I'm gonna send that to." So we do have a good time. We look forward to seeing you on Monday. Until then, stay warm. I believe Monday I have more swaps to show you,
Yes.
more cards to show you. Yep, we try to spread those out just to make it interesting. But I'm excited to show you that on Monday. And then on Monday also, I will tell you more about that special and the glass plate. So, all right, friends, you have a wonderful weekend. Make it a wonderful weekend, whether you're in Arizona or you're in Minnesota or somewhere else. Make it a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday. Happy stamping, friends.